Let me welcome our guests. We have with us John Sharpless, a professor of history at UW-Madison. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Joe Wineke, former state senator, former chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. Good morning. I thought maybe that John Sharpless might have a thought on Governor Walker saying that you should be working more. You should be working more, and now the UW system can make you work more.
I'm going to control my anger on this. I mean, I think there are faculty and staff all across the system right now that are hurt and angry. The notion that we're a bunch of deadbeats is just simply nonsense. The people of this state have to understand that we have a great university system, and I'm not speaking simply for Madison, I'm talking about the whole system. And if they're going to sacrifice that, their children will suffer. And making fun of faculty members because we don't show up is nonsense. There are a lot of stereotypes about politicians, and I won't go into them. Sorry, Joe. I know.
I'm recovering. It's
You're
okay.
recovering.
Okay.
That's just nonsense. You get the bottom line here, and you'd think that Republicans would understand it. You get what you pay for. And universities are more than faculty members. They're staff people, they're janitors, there's people who serve food in the dorms, they're law enforcement. If they want the campuses to have good teaching, safe classrooms, physical structures that are well maintained, if they want their young people to have not simply an educational experience, but a safe one and a healthy one, they'll maintain the university system.
Well, Joe, as the recovering politician here, where does this perception come from? Why would Governor Walker even say that?
Every hero needs a villain. And Scott Walker, to be the hero to people that are hurting in this state, needs to create a villain. Now, same song, same dance that he did 4 years ago to public school teachers at the K-12 level. And to this day, I've never figured out why we made teachers the enemy. It makes no sense. But now we're going to play the same song, and now this time it's going to be faculty. And it's part of the divide and conquer strategy.
Again, let me stress that campuses are not simply faculty. They're staff, they're custodians, they're law enforcement, they're the men and women who prepare the food in the dorms.
Radio talk show hosts.
There are people in the athletic departments that are producing the teams we enjoy on the field. If you cut back the university, all of that will suffer. All of it. And the other thing that's going to happen under this is as soon as the university system controls tuition, they will be forced, because of enormous deficits, to raise tuition aggressively. So then you get a perverse system where your children will pay a lot to get an inferior education.
John, what do professors do when they're not in front of a classroom?
I arrive on campus about the time most people arrive at work. It's between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and I stay to 5. Often I stay to 7 or 8 in the evening. If I'm not in a classroom, I'm in the library, I'm preparing lectures, I'm doing research. There's a whole host of committee meetings that are required. They drive me crazy. You sit there and chatter, but it's part of running a large institution, just like there are committee meetings at the state capitol to run our government. Advising students. If you're a teacher, you're also the person who has to make decisions about the troubled student, the student is having difficulty, working with that student, getting them through, making sure they get the education they deserve, managing teaching assistants, running research projects. You work at a university. You work. And I think I speak for everybody across the system, whether they're at La Crosse or at Madison. You finish the day, and you often bring home in your briefcase additional stuff to work at home. You go home and you eat dinner, and after dinner you're reading and grading papers. None of this seems like work to a guy like Walker, because he lives a different life. And I'm not going to make fun of what he does. I'm sure being a governor is a lot of work. He has to spend a lot of time in Iowa and South Carolina and North Carolina and courting other Republican bigwigs. That taxes the man horribly, and yet he's going to